Good evening and welcome to the Week in Review, where we give you key developments that occurred in the Nigerian economy during the week. First, let's begin with the lineup we have for you. Nigeria's July 2020 inflation, the Security and Exchange Commission's first virtual CMC webinar meeting, the National Economic Council's approval of 13.3 billion naira to kickstart community policing, and the Nigeria British Chamber of Commerce webinar on healthcare. The Consumer Price Index, which measures inflation, increased by 12.82% year-on-year in July 2020. This is 0.26 percentage points higher than the rate recorded in June 2020, which was 12.56%. Increases were recorded in all the divisions that yielded the headline index. On month-on-month basis, the headline index increased by 1.25% in July 2020. This is 0.04% rate higher than the rate recorded in June 2020, which was 1.21%. The percentage change in the average composite CPI for the 12-month period ending July 2020 over the average of the CPI for the previous 12 months was 12.05%, representing a 0.15 percentage point increase from 11.9% recorded in June 2020. The urban inflation rate increased by 13.4% year-on-year in July 2020 from 13.18% recorded in June 2020, while the rural inflation rate increased by 12.28% in July 2020 from 11.99% in June 2020. On a month-on-month basis, the urban index rose by 1.27% in July 2020, up by 0.04 from 1.23% recorded in June 2020, while the rural index also rose by 1.23% in July 2020, up by 0.04 from the rate recorded in June 2020, which was 1.19%. The corresponding 12-month year-on-year average percentage change for the urban index was 12.66% in July 2020. This is higher than 12.5% reported in June 2020, while the corresponding rural inflation rate in July 2020 is 11.49% compared to 11.36% recorded in June 2020. The Security and Exchange Commission held its first ever Capital Market Committee meeting for the year 2020, but this time through the virtual webinar platform. It was an opportunity to assess the progress of the Nigerian capital market amidst the COVID-19 pandemic and had in attendance all key capital market leaders. It was chaired by the Director General of the Security and Exchange Commission, Dr. Lamido Yuguda, and was the first major assignment he carried out since his inauguration as DG of the Apex Regulatory Agency of the Capital Markets. As part of measures adopted to consolidate efforts aimed at containing the security situation in the country, the federal government approved the sum of 13.3 billion naira for the take-up of community policing initiative across the country. Accordingly, the National Economic Council, at the recent virtual meeting chaired by Vice President Professor Yemi Osibanjo, SAN, with state governors, the Federal Capital Territory Minister, the Central Bank of Nigeria Governor, and some federal cabinet officials in attendance, resolved that the chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum with two other governors will meet with the Secretary to the Governor of the Federation, the Finance Minister, and the Inspector General of Police to coordinate the proper utilization of the funding of the initiative. The National Economic Council Ad Hoc Committee on Security and Policing had made a presentation on its assignment to the Council, noting that engagement with key stakeholders on the operationalization of community policing in the country was ongoing. The presentation was made by Governor Kayode Fayemi, who is also the chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum. With the approval of the 13.3 billion naira fund, the swift manner in which the community policing initiative is implemented will be key, as one of the major issues raised over time in the country is the need to localize security and engage people more at the community or neighborhood level. A robust, holistic, and strategic public-private partnership model is the pathway for Nigeria's quest to transform its entire healthcare landscape. This was among the key points from the Nigerian British Chamber of Commerce webinar this week, which discussed the future of healthcare industry in Nigeria. In his opening remarks, the President and Chairman of Council for the Nigerian British Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Kayode Falowo, noted that the current COVID-19 pandemic revealed that Nigeria was grossly underprepared to respond to global health crisis. According to him, while several other developing economies were recording lower cases, Nigeria hit over 50,000 cases with 905 plus deaths. Looking at the 2020 Nigerian budget allocation, Mr. Falowo pointed out that out of 10.3 trillion naira, the amount of the 2020 budget, 423 billion naira was allocated to health sector, which translated to 4% of the budget, which was below the 15% standard of the African Union for healthcare delivery in the continent. On this part, the Commissioner for Health in Lagos State, Professor Akinyabayomi, in his remarks said that Nigeria has currently a high disease burden, low human resources, and a weak infrastructure landscape for the healthcare sector. According to Professor Bayami, the key to the development of the health sector lies in a public sector initiated, private sector-driven approach. And that'll be all for this edition of the Week in Review. You can log on to our website, www.prosheng.com, to watch our videos, read our news stories, reports, and analysis. Till we come your way again. Thank you for watching. Have a great week ahead and stay safe.